Yes, people. Welcome to Never a Foul. If you ain't been here before, now you have, and it's time to like and subscribe. Because if you haven't, you're too slow to it. It's not good enough, is it? But anyways, jokes aside, we're joined by Mo all the way in Sardinia, and also Mr. Sava, who we like to get on here and there. And I'm not too sure what kind of show we're gonna get in case Mo disagrees with Sava, vice versa. Or maybe I'll just the instigator. So you might have a bit of a lively show, but there's quite a bit of transfer news to go towards. You know, you got Balogun, they're saying 50 million. Now they want 30 million into one to offer. You know, what day and age this is when a guy goes on loan for one season and the French league, and as Sava rightfully said before the show started, what's it turning into? What is this? What's going on?
50 million.
50 million. Like, you could say, it's always bought on potential, but I don't know if I quite like Balogun. I'm not gonna lie, I'll take him at Man United, but not for 50 million. Anyways, more than that, Chelsea's gonna improve their bid this week for Caicedo. The latest offer was 65 plus 5 million in add-ons. Very cheeky from Chelsea, and they're also interested in Kolo Muani. More to that, Partey also might be on the shift. Loads of news around him today, and also a bit yesterday that he might be getting a move over to Saudi. He's looking like he's heading in that direction. Kalvin Phillips to Liverpool. Paul Joyce started this, and now it's going to run. And there's much more as well, including Marcus Rashford, Scott McTominay, Edson Alvarez, another one for West Ham. West Ham's been a little bit of a busy boy. But yeah, man, how's everyone doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm slowly losing all hope and faith in another typical Daniel Levy attempt at a transfer window. But other than that, personally, I'm all right. You?
Yeah. I'm all right. Just, thanks to you. I'm a little bit more lively. What about you, Mo?
I just came back from the beach. It's too hot in here. Just came back.
Wow. But yeah.
I've been at the beach for like 3-4 hours.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, you're lucky for some. I've got Bedford and a little bit of rain and a little bit more rain and more rain in July and more rain. But yeah, big up everyone that's in the building. Andre's here. Says big up from Lavia, guys, and up the Chelsea. I've seen your face before. I saw your comment. You have been on the Mr. Minerals channel because no one else in this comments ever says up the Chelsea. Definitely we've got a Minerals what would you call him? What would you call it? A Minerals
FC.
Yeah, Minerals FC. There we go. Minerals FC. What do they call it as well? I can't remember. He's Minerals Apprentice. There we go. There's the one. But big up yourself and make sure you smash the like button. Where to really even start with the biggest news of today? I would want to start with Chelsea, but I don't think I want to. I think I want to start with Balogun for some reason, and Arsenal Football Club and Inter Milan, just because Mo's here and his connection sucks, so he might jump out anytime soon. What are you saying, man? Balogun 50 million, 1 year loan in the French league. He's not just the only one that's going for high figures. Because if you're looking at Arsenal, right, Sav, you're seeing Højlund, who's only been in a Serie A for 1 year, and they're quoting him around 60 million pounds. You know, and it's not just the only dangerous fee out there. There's more to it.
Yeah, mate. Do you know what? I think nowadays what you're seeing is the transfer market used to be that you were buying what you're seeing. Now I think you're buying potential. It can only be because you look at Balogun. This is nothing about him being an Arsenal player. He looks decent, but let's be fair. He's had one good year in the French league, right? And straight away, people start talking about 50 million. You've got Højlund, who again looks a good potential. People talking about 60, 70, 80 million. It's absolutely nuts. I could understand if this was if these were young players that had got themselves 25, 30 goals in La Liga or Germany or England, but we're now talking about 50 million for players that haven't really done anything in their career. It's absolutely crazy. People are willing to pay it, and clubs that don't have to sell can hold out. Let's be fair. As far as I'm aware, his contract's, I don't know, is his contract ending? From what I hear, I don't know if it is. If it's not, Arsenal can ask for whatever they want, right? They don't have to let him go. There's no obligation for them to let him go. But if he was that good, wouldn't they want to be keeping him and having him rotating with Jesus and firing on all, fighting on all fronts next season?
Yeah,
So
I think
confusing
the
one.
general consensus around Arsenal fans, they'd rather keep Balogun and shift Nketiah instead, but I can't see Nketiah leaving this season anyways. I just think it's too soon. I don't think no one can really even afford him for what Arsenal may want as well. What are you saying, Mo, man? I don't know if you're frozen there or we can hear your audio at the very least.
Back.
You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Listen, I've never heard of this Balogun guy before we started talking about it here on Never Found. I'm serious. I've seen some tweets and stuff. I've never heard about the guy. Never watched a minute of this guy. 50 million for someone like this is crazy in my opinion. Like, he's unproven. Why would anybody pay 50 million for potential? What potential? Where is the potential? Have we seen Pepe before? You remember Pepe? That went to Arsenal for 70 million for one good season. I don't think this is right. I agree with Sava here. This is crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Like, and also Sava raised the point that nobody talked about before. If this guy was so good, like what they say, why Arsenal not keeping him? It's because he wants to play the first team. He wants to be the first striker. Now prove yourself. Stay in the club. Take the position of Jesus and just play. But he's scared. Maybe he's not that good then.
I don't know. I look at it along the lines of I think this is good from Arsenal on their perspective because like they're playing the market for what the market really is. People are desperate for strikers. I think this is good play from Arsenal Football Club. But then you see we talk about one season, but Caicedo, one great season. Now he's quoted at 100 million. Lavia, they want 50 million, and he's in a championship currently. We saw Maddison go for 40 million, and he was in a championship. When you got relegated to the championship, you know how low your fees used to go towards, right? No, we talk about Højlund. We're talking about only two decent. We could say one absolute amazing season from Kolo Muani, and he's 24. He's only been in the game for about 2 years, really, if we want to call it. And they're quoting 80 million, 70 million. That's just the way the cookie crumbles these days. You have one good season, you're gonna have to pay up some great amount of money. That's the way I look at it.
How many goals did this guy score, Cas? I can't see the stat.
20 plus, I believe, in the French league. I'll get up an actual.
Is he English?
No. Well, his allegiance was with England. Now it's switched to America.
Okay, so he's American. So they want 50 million for an American striker. Jose Altidore.
So he scored 20 last season. He scored 22 goals in 39 games in total with 3 assists and played over 3,000 minutes.
Good for Arsenal. Listen, as you said, good for Arsenal that they want that much money. If someone pays that much money, I think it's too much. It's too big of a gamble, in my opinion. It's too big of a gamble.
But your club
for Højlund, huh?
Your club seems to want him.
Yeah, they're idiots. So who said they're not idiots? Who said they're not idiots? Like, do you think I'm going to sit here and defend the club? They're idiots. They're a bunch of idiots running the club. Just a little kid that is that bored in the club. We talked about it yesterday. Marotta is good and everything. But I don't know. Like, the guy is one of the best sporting directors in the world. Yes, Marotta. But to pay 50 million for someone that played in the French league, I think that's crazy. Unless they scouted him, but they didn't. Because we haven't heard the name before. That's what I mean. Like, he wasn't even your first or second choice. They tried with Højlund. They tried with Lukaku. So if he's your third choice and you're willing to pay 50 million, I think they're crazy.
Yeah, but you got to think as well. I think I just see someone in the comments, but with him being over there, being potentially one of the best American players, that's going to be the next best thing as well. And you see America growing with football in general. He could bring a certain market over to whoever he does end up going to, whether it's staying at Arsenal or Inter Milan. All of a sudden, you've got a bunch of American Inter Milan fans, or you got a sudden massive base of Arsenal fans. There's already loads of Arsenal fans over in America. Now they're gonna have even more if he's to be a success.
I agree. Yes, but it's a marketing. But listen, Inter are a club that in need now. They don't have the luxury to sign a player for marketing. This is this is not someone who's gonna come in for marketing. This is someone who should come in and start every game or play or score like 10, 15
He
goals.
will.
Can he do that? I don't know, like 50 million is too much for me, to be honest. I
And
still think,
he'll be up against his counterpart Pulisic if he goes to your club. You know, Pulisic to AC Milan now. Now you got America's Civil War all of a sudden. Big up Mr. Niak it says little bro AFC trying to act like big bro CFC with demands. Oh, Simon's got to take a shot.
Listen, I think that at the end of the day, a player, there's the argument, isn't there, that a player is worth whatever a club will pay for him, which is true, right? I just feel like these prices. I mean, where does it end? You know, if we're talking about this guy being 50 million, right, having scored 21 goals in the French league and never having done anything else in his career so far, what are we going to then say that Vlahovic is worth? What are we then going to say that Muani's worth? Like the fees are just going to get extortionate, like absolutely extortionate. And the question, you know, when people say, I can't believe they spent that money, what a waste of money. I think soon we won't be saying that because every deal will be in and around these figures. Soon this will be the going rate for any footballer. Whereas 50 million used to be, oh, that's a big sign. Do you know what I mean? Like that was your main man.
I agree with you, Saba, but in the same time, I think that we're looking at the market and we're looking at someone like Harvey Barnes, we're looking at someone like Madison, even Tonali, even someone like Onana. I don't think 50 million is a fair price for him. I get what you're saying. A player is worth what a club is willing to pay. But that's not the reality here, because how is this guy worth 50 million and Madison is worth 40?
No, hang on. I agree. But my point is, if Arsenal say we want 50 million or you're not going anywhere, someone will pay it, right? Like I'm not just saying with this deal, but clubs are paying it. Like I'm sure we'll get onto it later, but look at like Fulham at the moment, like West Ham bidding 45 million for Paulinho, which will be double from their investment last year, 12 months ago. And it's like, no, we want 80 million. Like, it's like, how can clubs keep paying those fees? It's crazy. But for me, it's the shortage of talent out there is making people buy potential. I think all of them, you look at Enzo Fernandez, good player, by the way, but Enzo Fernandez. You look at Mudryk, you look at Caicedo, you're looking at these fees for Balogun and Højlund. A lot of these players haven't done anything in their career yet. So I know like Enzo Fernandez won the World Cup. You know what I mean? I mean, like on a personal level at league status, they've not done anything and are going for massive fees. At some point, it's got to end, doesn't it?
You got to say, don't you think, Sav? Like 50 million sounds like the new 35 million. The new £200,000 wages is not the same £200,000 wages it was a few years ago. That's the new £300,000 wages. So when you think of Saka's new wage or potentially Marcus Rashford's new wage or anyone that's going up towards those wages, it's nothing. Like we're seeing players on £100,000 these days. What is that in to a football business? It's an ever-growing market, you know, and that's just the way you got to look at it. And if Balogun's worth 50 million towards Arsenal, and they get something close to that, they paid off half a Declan Rice, and then that deal.
Sure.
How many goals, Cass, do you think Balogun will score
in a Serie A? In a Serie A, guarantee he gets about 18 plus.
18 plus goals.
You know why I'm going to say this? All right, I don't want to spend too much time talking on Balogun, but I am a fan of him because his movement is so good. His touch and go are very good. He would link up with someone like Lautaro so well. Because I don't see him and Thuram playing in the same team. I see it going up like for like. You got someone behind him. Wow, that kid is going to be a monster because he's got good dribbling. I think Balogun for me is an all-round striker. He's clinical. I know in pre-season he missed a couple open goals. It's his first game. I don't care about that. The guy is good food. He will get you good goals. And I think in the Inter Milan setup, he'll be do good. In my opinion.
Do you know what, Kaz? Do you know what? For me, this isn't even about how good is the player, because I think again, it's how good is he? I don't think anyone can properly answer that question until he's tested by proper defenses week in, week out. He could be brilliant. And it's hindsight in football, isn't it? In 2 years' time, he could have banged in 60, 70 goals across 2 seasons for Inter Milan, and we're all going bargain at 50 million. Or he could be struggling to get in the team. He's got himself 12 goals across 2 seasons, and everyone's going, see, flop at 50 million. It's fine lines. But for me, who have Inter Milan got? Haven't Inter Milan got like three or four strikers there now? Like, or
he's back.
I mean, they
got rid of Dzeko now, I believe. I don't know if they tied him down. Mo can, when he comes back, he can. They got Lautaro Martinez. They got Thuram on a free. I don't know if they kept Dzeko or not. But then there's another space because they're not going to get Lukaku now the way he's acting up. So
yeah. No, listen, I hear you. Look, fair enough. For me, I just think if he was, I get it. Arsenal could do some good business. They could recoup half the money for Rice. But again, when we talked about why Arsenal didn't win league titles, right? When we talk about the way that Man City can take out Haaland and put in Alvarez, surely if Arsenal want to get to those levels, this is the sort of bloke you want to be keeping if he's as good as people are saying, surely, right? Why is he not your number one striker? Right? I don't know. Look, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm not about what they do either way, but it just seems a little bit crazy. Like it's the same with the Colwill thing.
I would take him.
Why can't people?
I'll take him. If you're talking Highlands about 65 million, I'm taking that guy for about 40 million, 45 million at Man United with a little bit of Premier League going to Man United tax. I'm taking him 100%. Sure. I love the guy. One thing I think Man United lack is just movement, and that guy's got movement, and that's all. And that's what I like in strikers. It's instinctive to have that sort of movement. I don't think a lot of strikers has got that these days. But yeah, moving on from Balogun, I think now it's time to talk about Chelsea. Chelsea, because we're going to talk about the same kind of situation. They're linked with Kolo Muani now that Vlahovic is supposedly going to PSG. So you could say Kolo Muani to PSG is locked off. Harry Kane, Bayern Munich, that looks like it might be a thing. I think that's going to be Bayern Munich's focus, especially with their CEO coming out talking about Kane conversations. Now we're talking about another limited market for Chelsea to go get a striker. Now, Kolo Muani, there's no links with Man United again. They're just on the list. It's interested FC. Whatever buzzword is new. Chelsea looks like they could go for someone like this. And they've also recently just got rid of someone called Ethan Ampadu, if anyone remembers that. Welsh international, £7 million to Leeds Football Club. But what do you make of, like, before we talk on Caicedo, the one season, which links up quite well, would you say Kolo Muani, Chelsea, would that be a good song? Good fit? From what you've seen?
On,
no, it's just for me, Kolo Muani is a good forward, but we talked about him at Man United when he's linked to Man United, that he's someone who goes around the 18, likes to drift out wide. And Chelsea, they lack a number 9, an out striker that fucks in the box, which was Vlahovic. It was supposed to be. Now they're going for Kolo Muani. Can he stay in the box? Can he get at the end of things instead of getting involved in the game and doing? So they have too many of these guys. They have Madueke, they have Nkunku, they have Sterling. These are forwards, but they like to be around. They're wingers / forwards. Kolo Muani, every time I watch the guy, he goes around the 18, is to being the guy in the 18. So why would Chelsea need someone like this? I don't get it, to be honest.
But I mean, you could say, look, I don't disagree with you in terms of whenever I've seen Muani as well. He's not your traditional number 9. He's not going to be your focal point. But I think it's what we talked about, Kaz, before the show started. How many good number 9s are there? Like, if Chelsea had a front three of Kolo Muani, Nkunku, and if he can get the best out of Mudryk, that fluid front three, all moving, all pulling defenders all over the place, that could work. And that's what we're seeing more and more from clubs now that don't have a central number 9, but they have 3 or 4 blokes that can all chip in. I don't think it will be the worst signing for them because, I think there's a real shortage of strikers. I think there's a real shortage of strikers across the world. I don't know who Chelsea get. If Vlahovic goes PSG, they're not getting Harry Kane from Tottenham. They're not getting Haaland. They're not, Benzema's, Lewandowski. They're not getting these players. Where are the strikers? They're not getting Osimhen.
Yeah, they're not getting Ivan Toney. He's on a ban. Right.
So where'd you go? If you're like you're saying, Mo, they need a traditional number 9. Who's that guy?
Grant Holt.
But so ask yourself a question.
Grant Holt. Where did that come from?
Ollie Watkins.
That's not traditional 9, not for me anyways. He's exactly like Kolo Muani.
Yeah, Sava, do you think that because there is no number 9, they just go and change the way they are playing or something like this? Do you think because of the lack of number 9, you adapt?
I think you have to. I think you have to. And the thing is, let's be fair. Chelsea don't have a way of playing. It will be a new way of playing under Poch, right? Because if you think about it, last year they had what Lampard,
Tuchel and Potter.
Lampard. Can't speak today. Lampard, Tuchel, and Potter. So they've had 3 different managers. Every time you watch Chelsea, it was a different formation with different players. No one's getting used to each other in partnerships, which is really important in football, right? If you're playing once a week, especially, I want to know if I'm the right back. I want to build a relationship with my right-sided forward, right? You need to know who's overlapping and when, and all the. Poch will have that that afforded to him this year by playing once a week, no European football, and I think he'll build a team now that will have an ethos. So I don't think Muani would be the worst for them. I just think that I don't know where clubs buy goals from now. I don't think there's many strikers in the world where you can guarantee yourself 20 goals a season.
It's all goal-scoring wingers, inverted forwards. That's where your goals come from, and that's probably why it's a dying out breed of traditional wingers and more goal-scoring wingers, and then a dying out breed of traditional number 9s and more all-rounded type 9s that don't get many goals but contributing in every other way. Chelsea Pirate says, Mo, can you take your tractor Lukaku back to his farm with your gazillion installment? He is behaving like he's in Brooklyn barbershop. Big up.
Bro, the guy thinks he is the most important player in the world. Somehow someone is telling this guy, you are still the best striker in the world. The guy doesn't know that he is a broken striker, in my opinion. Like, when I don't know, like, Juventus are in for him. They're willing to pay 40 million.
Did you not see the fans? Did you not see the fans outside Juventus's ground? And they were chanting like Lukaku to stay away, basically. You seen that?
Yeah, it's gonna Inter fans as well. They kind of like had a protest against Juan Cuadrado. So it's just a new thing. But I think so. Juan Cuadrado is a free agent.
Cuadrado is. That's
so Inter went to sign just 1 year for 2 million, and the fans said there's too much beef between Inter and Cuadrado. They don't want him at the club.
Oh, who cares, man? What do you think?
I was like, it's a good deal. But do you know, it looks like at the end that Lukaku's going to be. I'm thinking Lukaku's going to be staying at Chelsea.
I got a feeling it. I think he still goes to Juve. I don't care what the fans do. If they get rid of Vlahovic, that means they're going to get Lukaku, man. It makes sense. You won't let Vlahovic go unless you know you got a striker coming in, right?
Yeah. Do you know what the funny thing with Lukaku is? He's one of those that you're going to say, this is one of the worst phrases in football, but it's true. On his day, right? On his day, we've all seen Lukaku have good times. But on his day, he can look absolutely awful at the same time. So, look, 35, 40 million for Lukaku to Juve. Is it a good signing? You would say for that money, probably.
40 million for this guy.
Yeah, they
42.
No, it came out. It came out earlier that that they were in discussions, or they've made a bid of like 35. I can't remember where it is now. I'm going to try and find it for you, but
yeah, I think I saw something along them lines with the Juve stuff. I know I did, but
yeah, I'm sure I saw it today. Again, I don't know if it was Romano or someone, but I don't know. Yeah, it was like 35 to 40 million
euros. I think it's euros, Sava. It's euros.
What? Okay, euro. Even better for Juve then. If they get him and sell Vlahovic to PSG for, I don't know, 60? Is that what? I don't know what they're talking about fee. I'm just making that up.
They're talking about 60 million, 60, 70 million euros.
Right. Is that good business? 60, 70 million euros that way, getting Lukaku and making a 30 million profit? I don't know. I don't know, mate.
I don't think so. I think Vlahovic, I think Lukaku now might flop. Vlahovic, if he starts every game, he's guaranteed 15 goals. Lukaku is not.
Now Vlahovic will get about 20 goals in Liga 1, easy.
I don't think that's a good business.
I think it's good business by PSG, you know, and it depends when we get around him. But yeah, man, enough with Lukaku as well. Ethan Ampadu's gone 7 million, failed star. You could say he's had plenty of experience everywhere. This guy's been on loan everywhere. Now he's ending up at Leeds. Probably good for his career. Not really worth talking about. But the main one, Ethan Ampadu, someone that plays in this position that they're going to up their bid for, Moises Caicedo. This has been going on for so long. Like, it's been going on since the start, before the transfer window officially even opened about a month ago. This is going on for about 5-6 weeks. when is it time to say no and give up?
I think
Never.
I think they'll
Chelsea,
get him.
never.
I think they'll get him. For me, I think they're playing the game. I think they'll get him though. I genuinely look. If you look at Chelsea right now, right, look at their squad. They have like ripped it up. And if you look, how many central midfielders can you name at Chelsea right now?
2.
Conor Gallagher, if you're talking with centre mids that can play centre mid, I know Nkunku can play there and he will play there if he played in the free advanced, whether it is or not, I don't know. But if we're talking about from our knowledge, debate ones, Enzo Fernandez,
Conor Gallagher.
If you want, I don't think he's a centre
And
mid.
Chukwuemeke.
Which he is. I don't consider the guy a first teamer.
No. Look, a very good player, but this is my point. Chelsea, they're never, ever, ever going to go into the season with that as their options in midfield. Never in a million years are they going to go in. I think they'll get their man. I think they'll get another centre mid from somewhere else as well. I think they've got to.
Yeah, of course they will. But I just don't think Chelsea want to get ripped off on this deal. They don't want to pay the 100 or 90 million for this guy. And obviously,
And I like that. I like that.
But yeah, of course, that's good. That's good from Chelsea. But
very good.
like, who's the next alternative after that? You know, that's the way I look at it. Like, who's the alternative in case Caicedo does take long? They desperately do need a DM, and Brighton know they need a DM.
Do you know what? If I was Chelsea, do you know what? If I was Spurs, which I am, I'd get this guy as well. I would look at the two at West Ham. Huh?
Which guy? Caicedo.
No. I'm saying I was about to say the names. If I was Chelsea, I would go and do what West Ham are doing. I would look at Alvarez and Paulinho.
They wanted Alvarez last year, by the way, Chelsea.
Right. Imagine you put Enzo Fernandez next to Paulinho. Right?
Oh, Paulinho would be a great one for Chelsea, in my opinion.
Right. And they want 80 million, right? Chelsea will be able to. Look, I don't know if Fulham and Chelsea would do the deal, but do you know what I mean? Like, I feel there's players in that position. Maybe a Zubimendi as well. You've got Zubimendi, Paulinho.
You've got that knowledge. Okay.
Alvarez. Mate, it's all up there, mate. I watch every league.
All right, the Rashford celebration.
But for me, if I was that, if I was them, I would do that. I think that Alvarez at Ajax is a good player. I think it's a shame if West Ham get Alvarez and Paulinho. Probably not, but if they could get one of those two, even that is brilliant business to sell Rice and get like one of those two in.
What about if they don't? If they're getting priced out for what's the name, Caicedo? I like the Zubimendi shout. I look at what I look at Poch and I think of I think of Poch Wanyama. What's the bit of an upgrade on Wanyama? Paulinho. It kind of reminds me of that next to Pat. But I just think I think around Enzo, a bit more legs because he's slow, right? And I'm thinking they've been linked with another player, which is Liverpool and Arsenal's target, Romeo Lavia. Now, this guy's wanted everywhere. Would that not be a good shout for 45 million? I think Chelsea wouldn't mind paying something like that, you know?
Yeah, he's definitely a Poch type player as well. Look, I think they will get to a point where I think this will move very quickly at some point. I know that sounds weird because it's gone on forever, but I think one day it will be like done, or they'll just drop it and someone else will sign and everyone will go, oh, hang on, I didn't see that coming. But there's no way Chelsea don't bring in another top midfielder to play with Enzo. No way.
No, I can't see it. Like, I don't know about you, Mo, but I look at along the lines why Lavia makes sense for me. I think Chelsea have got that leverage. Why? Because they're not in Europe. They're playing one game a week. You know, they're expected not to do as much as the next club, right? Because this is a massive transition season for them. 1 year of extra Lavia. The following year, if they can get into top four, let's say they do get Champions League football, he's been primed and seasoned a little bit more. And I think the way we talk about Caicedo, he had no experience in the Premier League. Comes in half a season, looks all right as the 8, and then he goes as a 6 for Brighton for 1 year, and now he's the next best thing since sliced bread. That's what could be for Lavia. Give him another. He had a good year under Southampton. Unfortunately, their team was just not good enough. But he was definitely the one I'd say he stood out amongst the rest. You give him another year under Pochettino, likes a young player, molds him into the way he wants to. This guy could be one of the best DMs potentially in the league or in the top 10 anyways. But you think it kind of makes sense for Chelsea to go for someone like Lavia? Like, I think it works out perfectly.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in the chat are talking about. Obviously, they bought that Andre Santos as well. But again, you know how much? I don't know how much everyone's seen of that lad. I'll be honest, I've not seen a lot of him. I can't sit and say I put him in. I just think for me, I think if they're gonna get a Lavia, I still think they need one more. I still think that you need a selection of centre mids throughout a season. Because if they let's just say, because Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez are their first, let's say they get them right, that's a really good midfield too. I think most teams in the league would like that. Problem is if they both pick up injuries, right, which is what happened to Spurs this year, Basuma and Bentancur both being out for months and months and months, you're then left with kids or players that aren't ready. So I think they need two more.
Yeah, I think they do need two. I think they need another kind of type of midfielder like Enzo, like who's going to be the controller if he comes out of the game, who's going to drive it forward. Maybe Chelsea fans will know a lot more than us, of course. They watch their team or they know their team better. But yeah, man, I think, look, I think they have to get Caicedo done. After chasing him for so long, I feel like you have to come and find some sort of agreement, of course. In
my head, he's a Chelsea player, in my opinion. In my head, Caicedo is a Chelsea player.
Kingsley says the Vlahovic will flop at PSG. Icardi vibes. Kind of a similar part. No, he's kind of a similar player to Icardi, but Icardi had no pace, like compared to someone like Vlahovic. He's more of a head down type runner, you know, meet, you know, that one. But guys, there's over 700 of you in here on a Monday afternoon. Big up everyone that is here on the afternoon, whether it's nighttime or in the morning, your time. Obviously a bit different. But if you guys can smash the like, get us up to 300 likes. We're on 178. I know it's just a friendly reminder. We ask every video, it makes the video that much better. Also, in the description below, again, if you've got that energy, Mr. Saba's link for his YouTube channel is right there. Similar to ours, does a bit of everything, not just Tottenham Hotspur. So if you are interested, go watch Football Heritage TV.
He watches other leagues as well. Just put it out there. I'm just leaving it out there.
I did not expect Sava to know Zubimendi. I'll be so honest.
Mate, do you know what? I watch as much football as I can. I think as I got older and I go out less, I've watched as much football as I can. And the funny thing is, whenever I'm in YouTube channels and I talk about players from other leagues, the pathetic response you first get back from people, not from you, I mean people in chats, is, oh, like you've seen him play. You know, as though there's no access to watch any other leagues in the world other than the Premier League. But listen, I think it's important to watch other leagues. I think it's good to know, like, when people are getting excited about players coming from foreign leagues and they're literally excited because it's a foreign name rather than actually watching that player and knowing if they're going to be any good. So yeah, it's important for me to watch it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's fun as well to get your knowledge up on different players. Shifting a little bit away from Chelsea, but the actual DM situation again. Romeo Lavia linked with Liverpool, but that's not who we're here to talk about. The odd one for me is Kalvin Phillips. Kalvin Phillips to Liverpool Football Club. Now, his name first come up on the weekend through Paul Joyce. And then now another report comes in saying Liverpool are stepping up their interest in someone like Kalvin Phillips, who this season is looking to make his mark in the Premier League. He looks... Big Steve met him the other day at, I think, maybe the training complex or at Man City, basically. And he said he's just looking absolutely trim. He's on it, right? And he's here to prove a point. And I think after the season he did have and the impression he did leave, he'll be there to prove a point. Whether he stays at Man City or goes to Liverpool, I think that would be a wicked signing for Liverpool. I'm a massive fan of Phillips, and I don't care if he's like, he's fat, he's injured all the time, this, that, and the other. I'm not interested in that. It's what he brings to the table, in my opinion. They are looking for some sort of DM. You know, and I think if you told me Phillips, McAllister, Szoboszlai, that's wicked. That's a wicked.
Which Phillips? Which Phillips? Leeds Phillips or Man City Phillips?
Listen, it's the same player. Let's be honest. He hasn't changed. He's the same player.
No, it's changed. No, it changed. Is it Dele Alli's Everton, Galatasaray, or Dele Alli's?
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. Kalvin Phillips hasn't had the game time. He hasn't changed. It's not like he played 38 games and had a really bad season. He's, unfortunately for him, got, for me, the best player in the Premier League in his position. Right? You don't drop Rodri. No one's going to drop Rodri. This man makes Man City tick. That's the man everything goes through. I think Phillips for me, I think we saw at Leeds for a few years, a good player. I'm not going to go overboard about him. We talked about this Kaz off stream. I don't think he's this sensational player. I don't think he's a bad player. I think you know what you're getting. I think you know what you're getting every game. He works his backside off, and we saw in the Euros as well, him alongside a Declan Rice, they complemented each other really well. So if he's sitting at the base and lets Szoboszlai and McAllister go and do a bit more further forward, I think you can do worse. I don't think that's the end of the world if I'm brutally honest.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, Kalvin Phillips at Leeds for me was better than Declan Rice. When these two paired at the Euros in 2021, I thought Kalvin Phillips was the better one. We talked about this many times. But then Declan Rice went and played his ass out. Like, he played every game for West Ham, won a trophy. Kalvin Phillips went to Man City, sat on the bench, couldn't get a game. Even Rico Lewis, the kid, got more game time than him. That's the thing about it. So Kalvin Phillips, if Liverpool get Kalvin Phillips and put all their hopes on him, I think that's a gamble again. I would absolutely get a Lavia, have played every game more than Phillips now. For the same price.
Lavia also had his injury problems early on in his career at 18, going on 19
But
years old.
Kalvin Phillips, when he was fit, Cass, he couldn't get game time. And don't tell me about Rodri, because Rodri needed rest. And
no. But hang on, he don't need rest. This is the thing. Watch Rodri play. This guy is Busquets reincarnate, right? He doesn't tear around the pitch, right? Yeah, he is Busquets. He is the successor to Busquets for Spain, and Busquets said it himself when he left Barcelona last month. He said it himself. Yeah, they're like, how do they replace you? He said Rodri.
I think Rodri is better than Busquets. I'm sorry.
Listen, okay, he might be, but I'm just saying in terms of the line of succession, right? For me, Rodri don't go tearing around the pitch like a maniac, and because Man City have more of the ball than any other team, yeah, you conserve your energy. So this whole he needed rest, I don't think he needed rest. I think you saw that he didn't need any rest. He played in nearly every game. Gets the winning goal in the Champions League final. Listen, I love Rodri, by the way. I think he's class.
Yeah.
I just think anyone. Do you know what? It's a little bit like that position for me, guys, right? It's like when Spurs sign a backup striker, right? And they go, oh, he's not done very well. Well, yeah, of course, because you're not playing in front of Harry Kane. Do you know what I mean? You're not getting the game time. You're not being rest. You're not going to rest Harry Kane. So Richarlison can play up front for 5 games. Doesn't happen. So I think Phillips has gone. He's got his medals. Now go somewhere where you're going to play week in, week out.
I've heard two mad statements in this, not even in 24 hours. I got told that Pep's Barcelona was not exciting, and now I'm being told that Rodri is better than Busquets. Wow.
I think Rodri is better than
Busquets. That's my opinion. You just go and take it.
My head is hurt. This is why I wait. This is why I'm in a mood when I come onto the evening streams. It's because I remember Mo's got a mad statement to make that's going to make my head burn. That's the way I look at it. Anyways.
Listen, first and foremost, right? Let's. I mean, we do this a lot in football. I don't think when we're saying who's better than who, let's be honest, right?
To retire and then go off of that.
But the thing is as well, if me and you were
nostalgia,
picking a team,
nostalgia.
But hang on, well, hang on. It's not nostalgia, right? Listen, right? If me and you were picking a team, remember like back in the days in the playground where everyone would line up and you pick a player. If it got down to the last two players and it was Busquets and Rodri, Kaz, I'm turning around and walking away. I don't care which one of them you put in my midfield. I'm happy with either of them, right? Rodri is just this era. Busquets has had his era, right? Busquets played in arguably the greatest team the world has ever seen. Rodri is playing in arguably the greatest team right now.
Is the greatest what? I'm sorry, excuse me?
Yes, the greatest team that's ever
the greatest team that's ever played.
In my opinion, to see the difference, in my opinion, the greatest DM in that position is Pirlo by a mile, better than Busquets. By a mile.
By a mile?
By a mile.
I mean, first of all, I think they're different. I don't think they're. I think they're different.
Both at the base of the triangle.
Okay, that's great, but that's like saying Harry Kane plays up front and so does Jesus. Very different footballers, both strikers though. Right?
I actually think that Busquets and Pirlo play kind of similar.
Pirlo doesn't think it's stiff Macanelli.
I absolutely think Pirlo is better. I think it's all about nostalgia.
Xabi Alonso is better DM than
But
Pirlo.
I absolutely think that Pirlo is absolutely
can't
better
believe we're
than
getting this
Busquets.
Mo,
conversation.
can
My
I just ask you?
opinion,
You keep saying the
100%.
word nostalgia, right? Why is it?
Here we go.
Why is it that if somebody likes a player from a previous era, automatically that player's no good and it's nostalgia?
I
Well,
never said Busquets is not good. I
Yes,
never
it
said
is.
that.
I
Yes,
know,
it
but
never
is.
said
you haven't
that.
answered my question. You haven't actually answered my question. So I
Okay.
get this a lot with the younger Spurs fans. So when I say like I always
Younger.
say to the Spurs fans, right? Yeah, younger Spurs fan. I'm 40, right? So I always say to the younger Spurs fans, like, okay, hear me out, right? I was asked the other day, pick your all-time Premier League 11 for Spurs, right? So I picked my team, and there was no Hong-Min Son in it, right? Oh my god, these kids lose their mind, and I'm like, sorry guys, my man Janola's playing out there. Like, you don't even talk to me about Son. Oh, nostalgia. No, he was just a world-class footballer. What are we talking like? Because he finished playing 15 years ago or whatever, doesn't mean it's nostalgia. You can still be good even though you played years ago. But Rodri better than Busquets? I don't know yet.
In my opinion, he's a better player.
Anyways,
Rodri plays in that triple team. I know it's not a debate show. Rodri plays in that triple team. They're actually better. I think Pirlo is a much better DM than Busquets, in my opinion. Much better. Passing range, technicalities, seeing the pitches more. I think he's better than him. Maybe I took it to the extreme, same by a mile, but I will put Pirlo as one of a kind. Busquets isn't, in my opinion. He's good and everything. He isn't one of a kind.
Hang on. Okay.
I'm one set. You're going in the sin bin. I can't
This is mental. This is mental.
He's in a 30-second sin bin. I'm not having this. This is not that sort of debate show. Xabi Alonso's a better DM than Pirlo, man. Don't give me that crap. Don't give me anything. I'm not saying Pirlo's bad, but he's the category there, but Busquets in the category there.
I think for me, look, the crazy thing about this, right, is Sergio Busquets has been part of arguably one of the best national teams we've ever seen that won. I think he won 2 of the 3, didn't he? I don't think he played, when Spain won 3 in a row, I think he played the last 2, if I'm not wrong, right? And arguably the greatest club side we've ever seen in Barcelona, right? Xavi said to, there's the famous story of Pep Guardiola. Yeah. Pep Guardiola said to Xavi, hey, you succeed me. Xavi said, yeah, but Iniesta succeeds both of us. And Iniesta went, nah, the real guy is Busquets, right? If those guys are saying Busquets is one of the greatest ever, I don't know any argument to say he's not.
Even my internet didn't agree with me.
Yeah, when you got sin binned. Yeah.
Tell me what he can't do, Mo.
No.
Hang on, no, I need. Sorry, Kaz, I need to know. Tell me what Busquets could have done better in his career.
His connection won't allow it, man. Donna's got a question for you, though, Sava.
His connection is so bad. Even his connection hates his football opinion.
Yeah, Donna says, Mr. Sava, you saw my pics from Australia.
Oh, good God. Donna Cullen is that picture is of the real Donna Cullen who sits on the board at Tottenham Hotspur. He's just mad, this man.
Hybrid Ultra says, I'm starting to question if Mo actually watched that Barca team. Pirlo isn't better than Busquets and Rodri isn't even on the same stratosphere. Mr. Niak as well says, Mo's takes today are cheat and a disgrace and he needs to be drug tested. AFTV Thai voice. Oh, if you say it like that, it makes sense. PLS is saying Mo is drunk. Yeah, too many non-alcoholic beers going to his head. And then King Do says, big up fellas, this is why Mo is the GOAT. He said Pirlo's pass rate is bigger than Busquets. Wow. Mo is one of the kind, and I'm sure his connection will be back soon. So what we say, so just to wrap up the Kalvin Phillips, to give it away now. He's nowhere near any of these
I forgot where we started. I forgot where this debate started. Yeah. We've gone from Kalvin Phillips through to Busquets and Pirlo.
Yeah. What would you give this rating out of 10? At like the link itself to Liverpool. What would you give it?
What, as if I think it will happen, or if how good a deal it would be?
1 being absolute no chance, or 0 on 10 is like, yeah, this is definitely happening.
I can't see it happening. I don't know. Well, hang on. Actually, I was going to say, why would Man City strengthen a rival? But they did it with Arsenal, didn't they? A 6 or a 7. I mean, I guess if you pay the money up, they've got Kovacic in now anyway, haven't they? I think it'll be a decent sign. Listen, sometimes you need a guy in there that isn't flashy. Henderson did it for nearly a decade. Just the unsung hero, the guy that goes in there, everyone else wants to play with, does all the dirty work, and the fans don't appreciate, but his teammates will. Every club needs one.
Yeah. And also just so would you give it a rating out of 10? I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. I think just interest, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. He's just on the list. And maybe kind of low down on the list. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Just coming from Felix Johnston, and a lot of you Chelsea fans not gonna like to hear this. Since we're talking to Liverpool, this lands very perfectly. Liverpool are dead set on Levi Colwill. And it's also saying Jurgen Klopp has recently held a phone call directly with Levi Colwill. Chelsea are extremely angered by this and are contemplating reporting Liverpool to the FA. The Blues are saying to any club interested that he's not for sale. This is crazy. They love a tap up, don't they?
Do you know what, right? I feel like it's one of those things that when your own club, right, not yours, I mean in general, when your own club taps up a player, no one cares. They're like, yeah, go and speak to him, do this. As soon as a club taps up one of your players, it's like, oh my God, they're the worst team in the world. Stop it. Listen, all players get tapped up. Again, I'll apply the Colwill situation to the Balogun situation. Why, if he's as good as everyone says, stay at Chelsea, make one of those centre-back positions your own.
Yeah, I don't know what his affiliation is with Liverpool, but other than him potentially and his family himself or being Liverpool fans and all that, I just don't know what his beef is with not staying at Chelsea when a starting position is there for you to own it. You know,
make it your own.
Yeah. What are you saying, Mo? Man, do you reckon Liverpool will end up putting in a bid? Just a quick,
I think I think Liverpool are not idiots. They're gonna do like one bid max or something, because Liverpool are going to bid like 40, 50 million. And if Chelsea don't budge, I don't think they're going to go for 60, 70. I think it's too much. As I am absolutely agree with Sava here. Why is Colwill 70, 80 million pounds? Like based on what? I said, like based on what? Based on like 20 games with the Derby? Like, is that what it is now? You play 20 games, you win an under 21 World Cup, you're worth 70 million now? That's just, it's nuts, to be honest. It's absolutely nuts. Guys, there's over 700 of you here. If you like my hot takes and the crazy takes, hit that like button for me. Also, go check out Sava's channel. The like button helps us massively go to the next person. If you like the show, also turn on that notification bell. But the like button is very important. It's free. And also, Sava's channel is in the description. All football talk. It's not only Spurs. Knows his football, his takes are all rational and logical. So just go check his channel out. But the like button and Sava's channel in the description.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, just got to move off of that. Talking of crazy figures as well. West Ham, I know this ain't everyone's interest. This isn't everyone's interest, right? But West Ham apparently bidded Pellegrini for 45 million, got rejected. But then they're going to get out Edson Alvarez. Just a quick short on West Ham. And also because it's linked to Man United. And now there's hot interest with Maguire and Scott McTominay. If that doesn't smell like David Moyes, I don't know what does.
But hold on. But they both suit David Moyes, right?
They do. They do.
They absolutely do. Because if you watch Antonio with the Filthy Fella podcast, he said one thing. He said that David Moyes tried to play progressive football in the beginning, and it didn't work. And he said at the end of the season, we're like, oh, let's go back to what we know. So
that's what my West Ham mate said. That's what my West Ham mate said, Mo. They said at the beginning of the year, they were all excited because they signed Cornet, who's an attacking player, Paqueta, who's an attacking player, Scamacca, and it didn't work. I say it didn't work. Let's be fair. It wouldn't work because that's not how Moyes sets his team up. But if you're sticking Maguire into that back three under Moyes, McTominay in centre midfielder under Moyes, I think those signings make sense. I do. I think they make sense for West Ham. I don't want either of them two anywhere near Spurs before you two say it. I don't want either of those two players near Tottenham. But it makes sense.
Oh, Maguire. No, this is fun. This is fun because Maguire. No. This is fun. This is absolutely amazing because I can't remember I read it today and I was so surprised. Maguire's not wanted just by West Ham. Apparently, there's interest from Chelsea, Tottenham, and Newcastle.
I can't make that make sense. I can't see that Poch would like him at all. If Postecoglou likes him, then I'm going to go off Postecoglou fast. He's a cart horse. He suits right. West Ham with a back three, right? Zuma, Agurd, Maguire. There you go. 3 big lumps at the back there. Why not?
Fantastic football. Absolutely amazing. Let's just go watch that.
They'd be dangerous from set pieces, wouldn't they? Can you imagine those 3 going up along with McTominay from midfield, Antonio?
Yeah, that's
I think actually, I actually think McTominay isn't that bad, as Alex Ferguson said.
I want 45 million.
But hold on, you're not asking McTominay to go and receive the ball from the defense and distribute. You shouldn't ask McTominay to do that. Well, Man United ask McTominay to do that every time, and he hides. He goes to David Moyes, sits in front of these 3. There is no break in this defense. It's you or the ball that goes behind that defense. It's you, the player or the ball. It's one. It's not both. I think they suit them but for 35 million, I think that's crazy, bro.
No. I can't lie. Maguire, you can say for 35. I think that's gonna be it. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I saw loan being in question. But if you want Scott McTominay, I just saw Declan Rice go for 105. I want 45 million.
Oh my god!
I don't want to get because you know
hang
what
on,
it is.
Hang on, how are you putting them in the same sentence? Like, what's the link there?
Because, what do you mean? What?
Well, right. What's Declan Rice, who's a top player at 105 million, got to do with McTominay?
105, but I'm saying Conor Gallagher for 40 million and stuff like that. Why is Scott McTominay? He's got more experience. We love the word Premier experience.
These prices are mental.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I'm seeing one season wonders going for like 50 million and stuff like that. I know what he's worth.
Yeah, but there's one season wonder and there's 5 seasons flopping. That's the difference.
Right now, I want 45 million pounds or 40 million for Scott McTominay because that's what we're doing these days.
My worry is that when Man United do get rid of him, I think if you do get rid of McTominay, you're automatically going to go out and buy Amrabat.
Yeah, no, it's either him or Freddie. Don't matter which one. Oh,
yeah,
rumors are Manchester United that another report. I don't believe it though, so don't count for it. That Man United's already made a first formal bid for him. That's been rejected.
Romano's just posted about Amrabat and Man United. Do you want me to? He's just posted.
Yeah, you can read it. Can you read it, Sava, for us, please?
Yeah, he says Man United have Sofiane Amrabat included in their defensive midfielder list, but nothing imminent and no bid has been sent. Man United next priority is a new striker with Højlund talk still on. New midfielder depends on outgoings, especially on Fred and Van der Beek.
Oh,
yeah, this guy Van der Beek.
Let's be honest.
Who's Van der Beek?
If you can get 40 million, 45 million, or 40 million for McTominay, and bring in Amrabat for less than that, has got to be one of the best bits of transfers in and out ever.
Can we just cut that a little bit? Can we cut that second half of the sentence and say, if they get rid of McTominay for 45 million, that's the best business this window?
Like, no, that's not it.
It's just
you
done.
Heard it.
It's done.
You haven't heard the latest. You haven't heard the latest.
Okay.
I've been seeing Alex Telles for 20 million pounds.
Oh
my word. What's going on at Man United and who took over? Because I need to know who's negotiating now. I know it's not Matt Judge. I think it's that.
Is he still your player?
Who? Yeah, Alex Telles, yeah. They're saying 20 million to Saudi.
I thought you got him on loan.
No. Let me do.
He's on the payroll, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah. Donna says, Mr. Sava, I'm the real Donna Cullen. Film me. And then
I'm sure you are.
Comes across and says, Mr. Sava, thoughts on my PR magic in Australia?
Spurs are in Australia for their preseason tour. We start tomorrow by playing European champions West Ham. And I've been told apparently I have to say that now by my West Ham fans, European champions. And oh my God, rather than actually buying what we need, i.e. centre-backs and defensive midfielders, God, we are good at PR. Everything is, oh, look how happy they are. Everyone's happy. The vibe, the mood is brilliant. Look at these photos and everyone's hugging and dancing. buy a centre back. I don't care if the players are happy. They should be happy. They're footballers. They are living the dream.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you just say
Ran
European? Did you just say European champions, West Ham? Did you
They
just
are.
put that in there?
Yeah, they are, right?
Okay,
Oh, if you're the real Donna Cullen, why are you sending us currency in rupees?
One of her offshore accounts.
Um,
Why are you sending us money in rupees? Big up, Donna. I do like that account, though. Always comes into my chat.
Oh, it's not really a troll account, is it? That's the best part. Phil says, big up the panel. Question, best goalie, Kolo or Edison?
Big up Phil P. He's a Levi outer. I think Mo comes out with some great takes, some absolute corkers, man. That was brilliant.
God. My last question
we'll debate that later, but fine.
My last question of today, and it is surrounding the Arsenal. I was going to talk about Partey. I was going to talk about Thomas Partey quick. Do you see him leaving Arsenal?
Yes.
Yes, but I don't know why.
Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia. Money, the case that he has, I think somehow the guy, his head felt that, like at the end of the season, man, his head was down. I don't know why, but it has to be something outside of football. You cannot just drop suddenly that the form was great until one game, and then the guy just collapsed. Something is happening in the background. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to claim anything that I know, but the reports are saying there's a case going. And I think him going to Saudi Arabia is the right move for him now. It's not the right move for Arsenal, though, because Arsenal need a Thomas Partey now at the moment.
I'll tell you what feels strange for me, Mo, is if Thomas Partey does go, then Arsenal, who are meant to be building this squad to challenge City, right, who are meant to be learning from last season and having depth, which they didn't have, would then have got rid of two central midfielders and brought in Declan Rice. You could argue that they've actually, whilst Declan Rice is a top player, they've actually weakened the squad.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You hate Arsenal now. Don't say that. If you say that, you're going to be labeled Arsenal hate. That's
fine. It's just common sense, right? If you've got you're letting your two midfielders go that just got you second in the league. You've got Rice in, brilliant. They're going to have to go out and buy again. They've got to, right? Because otherwise, their midfield options are Rice, Jorginho, and
Havertz,
and yeah. But but they're not centre mids, are they? Like Havertz isn't your centre mid who's going to play in a 2, is he? He's more your. Do you know what I mean? Listen, again, I don't support Arsenal, so I don't care what they do.
But Havertz isn't a midfielder, period. There's no ifs and buts. There's nothing there. There's nothing there, you know? Like, you can try to spin it left and right. He isn't a midfielder because he has zero defensive abilities. Zero.
I don't know.
Even Odegaard is a better defensive ability. Like, he isn't.
I don't know what Kai Havertz is. I don't think he's terrible, but I don't know what he is.
I'm telling you now, if I see Arsenal line up with Declan Rice, Havertz, and Odegaard as their starting main midfield for next season, I am going to I wouldn't even be afraid of it. I'm just telling you that for a fact. They need to go get a proper DM, man. I'm going to still keep this. If they sell Partey and they sell Balogun for 40 odd million, I still reckon they go in for Caicedo. And I'm going to bank that. Because I think Lavia ends up going to Liverpool, and I think they will go back in for Caicedo and drop down money that they want. I still think it's the case, man. I really do. And then when you see Caicedo, maybe even Caicedo and Rice in a pivot, that's fake. That shouldn't be allowed in football.
That's amazing.
Like, it's amazing. It's an amazing pivot. Harshal as well, because we have to wrap up. Replying about Balogun. Signing Balogun also gives you better access to USA market, like Chelsea with Pulisic, so Arsenal should value that as well. Which is true, but you see a lot of Americans now going over to the Italian league.
Yeah, soccer now. It's called soccer in Italy now.
Oh, look, I think. Look, sorry, just one last thing on the Partey case. By the way, I just feel that again. I'm going to take my Spurs hat off. I'm just looking at this as a football fan. I think Arsenal, if they're letting him go, they must have some other players lined up, right? Surely they'll be bringing in some other midfielders, whether that's Lavia, whether they've got their eye on anybody else. You can't go into the season with just Rice and Jorginho and El Nene. You can't. You've got to You've got to have some bodies in there. They're playing in 4 competitions next year. And then if Rice gets injured, what are you doing? Playing El Neni and Jorginho for the rest of the season? You know, I think they've got a lot of work to do, Arsenal. They've made some good signings, but I think they've got a lot of work to do if they want to catch City.
Yeah, and then the last part is, again, big up Donna, says, Mr. Sauer, thoughts on my PR magic in Australia. Any more comments towards it? You got any more comments?
No, the same as last time.
I'm sorry, Donna. Very sorry. That was weak from Sava there. But yeah, big up everyone that's in
I
here.
already answered it, didn't I?
Weak. He could have gave you another answer in a different words. That's what journalists have to do these days. Recycle journalism. Sava needs to know a thing or two about that.
Guys, there's 700 here, and we're not even on 300 likes. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
we don't want to beg for likes. You guys think we like that, but the like button helps the channel move to the next person. It looks like this, and it's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. Also, Sava's channel is in the description, as he helps us here. Go check his channel out.
Yeah, man, it'd be good to get 300 likes. If you stay on this channel, there's 2 other lives about to go forward. You could either go join Lewis's channel, who's live right now, probably having a meltdown, or obviously Saeed's channel, which is talking about Man United in the next 50 minutes. If you stay on there, go to Saeed's channel. So do your thing. Make sure you smash the like button, and we'll be back tonight at 10 o'clock regarding a new debate topic. See you in a bit.